Hello students, in yesterday's class we discussed about consumer price index, real GDP and nominal GDP. Okay, now today we are going to discuss about GDP and welfare. So GDP, gross domestic product, is nothing but national income. So national income is the value of all final goods and services during a year. As national income measures the rate of economic growth of a nation. National income measures the rate of economic growth of a nation, and also it is helpful to the know the relative contribution of all the sectors of an economy. So that's why national income figures are necessary for economic policy formulation and planning. Okay, so the national income explains the welfare of the people, wealth of the country. National income is explains the welfare of the people or wealth of the country. So here, how we can calculate the welfare of the people or wealth of the nation? That is depends upon the figures of GDP or statistics of GDP. So commonly you know that very well, if the country's national income, like if the country's income is increase, the welfare of the people also increase. If the country's income will be decrease, even welfare of the people also decrease. Then what is the term of welfare? Welfare is nothing but just satisfaction. Welfare is satisfaction, or it is a state of well-being. It is depends upon the various economic and non-economic factors such as social, cultural, psychological, spiritual, okay, etc. This is depends upon the economic and non-economic factors. Okay, so welfare is nothing but satisfaction. So when the national income is increase, even people welfare also increase, that is satisfaction also increase, either socially, either culturally, either psychologically, either spiritually. Through in all these ways, definitely it will increase the satisfaction when the income of the country increase. Otherwise national, if national income increase, the people welfare also increase, otherwise welfare of the people also increase. Okay, so Pigo, according to AC Pigo, economic welfare as that part of general welfare, part of general welfare that can be brought directly or indirectly into relation. Otherwise, in other words, we can say like that economic welfare is the satisfaction or utility. Economic welfare is the satisfaction or utility derived by an individual, derived by an individual from the use of economic goods. Don't forget, economic welfare. So welfare is a satisfaction or a state of well-being. Economic welfare is the satisfaction or utility derived by an individual from the use of economic goods and services. Use of economic goods and services, what we are getting, that is called only economic welfare. Why? Because we are using economic goods. Economic goods means those goods which are priced, which are having a price, they are called only economic goods. Without paying, what we are getting from the nature, that is called as free goods or natural goods. But economic goods means those goods which are having a price or priced. Okay, so use of economic goods and services, what we are getting satisfaction or utility, that is called only economic welfare. So anyhow, economic welfare is only a part of general welfare, and also it is the part of well-being which can be bought with money. Okay, we can calculate in the form of money only, but money cannot buy everything. Okay, money cannot buy everything. For example, it can buy medicines, not health. It can buy jewels, not peace of mind. Okay, so that's why to be happy and contented, apart from economic factors, like non-economic factors. So finally we can say like that, man cannot live without bread, He does not live by bread alone. Imagination, money, it's a part of life only. We need money to purchase goods and services, but money is the not a complete of life. For example, man cannot live without bread. He does not live by bread alone. So, according to A.C. Pigu, Alfred Marshall, and J.R. Hicks, they're telling like that national income and national welfare, like GDP and welfare, are positively correlated. For example, an increase in national income definitely it will increase the economic welfare. But if the GDP increases, people also will get more income. That is what we can say, this is not a perfect information. So national income is treated as the indicator of the welfare of the people. If the all are believing like that, if income of the national income of the countries increase, the people welfare also increase. But that is not true. Maybe, may not be true. Okay, may or may not, maybe or may not be true. Why? Because national income is not a reliable index of economic welfare for few reasons. If the income of the country increase or national income increase, welfare of the people also increase. All are believing like that, like this. But according to few economists, it is completely wrong. Why? Because of few things only. So what are the reasons? We have to discuss one by one. We are discussing about national income is not a perfect barometer to calculate welfare of the people. If the national income increase, welfare of the people also increase. But this may not be true always. Why? Because of few things. So what are the few things? That is, first one is distribution of GDP. Distribution of GDP, don't forget we are discussing about GDP is not a perfect barometer to calculate wealth or welfare of the people, or wealth of the nation, or welfare of the people. Okay, why? Because of few reasons. It may not be true always. If the people income increase, like if the national income increase, welfare of the people also increase. But it may not be true always. Why? So for that sake only we have to study this one. See, distribution of GDP, how uniform is it? If you calculate that one, see, an increase in national income, inequalities in the distribution of income may occur. That is, see, if the GDP of the country is rising, the welfare may not rise as a consequence. Why? Because the rise in GDP may be concentrated in the hands of very few individuals or firms. Definitely, if the GDP of the country increase, welfare may not increase. Why? Because the rise in GDP may be concentrated in hands of very few individuals or firms. Why? Because increased GDP may have increased the income of the small minority of the people, but majority of the people are remained poor. You know that very well. In our country, according to few statistics, nearby 30% only rich people, remaining 70% of people are poor people, just according to few statistics. So here it is even possible that minority have become richer. Minority have become richer while the majority becomes poorer. Here, when the income increases, when the national income increases, that time minority of people only increases their income, but majority of people still they are under the vicious circle of poverty. Vicious circle of poverty. That's why national income is not a right index of welfare. Right index of welfare. Why? Because see, the majority may have remained poor. It is increased only small minority of the people like rich. It is even possible that a minority may have become richer while the majority becomes poorer. Welfare of the majority decreases even though GDP increases. If the GDP increases also, minority like majority of the welfare of the majority decreases. Why? Because the income, like it is only concentrated in the few hands, in the hands of few individuals, because income is not distributed equally among the people in a country, right? we can see so many are poor, few are rich. Okay, that's why the income is not distributed properly among the people. Few are only increasing their rich. Rich become rich, poor become poor. So that's why we cannot say if the GDP increase, welfare of the people also increase. For example, just observe here. You can see that example. Suppose in a year 2000, just imagination, in year 2000, an imaginary country, that is also imagination, an imaginary country had 100 individuals. Imagination, in the year of 2000, an imaginary country, okay, had 100 individuals. Out of that, each earning rupees 10, each earning rupees 10. Imagination, just assume like that. Suppose in year 2000, an imaginary country had 100 individuals, each earning rupees 10. Okay, therefore the GDP of the country was rupees 1000. Are you clear? Because each earning rupees 10 out of 100 individuals, so that's why the country's income or GDP, how much? Rupees 1000. That is calculated in under the income method. As like as in 2000, let us suppose the same country, that is imaginary country, same country had 90 individuals earning rupees 9, earning rupees 9 each, and the rest 10 individual earning rupees 20 each. Okay, are understanding? See, in the year of 2000, an imaginary country had 100 individuals, each earning rupees 10. Therefore the GDP of the country was rupees 1000. Okay, 10 into 100, you can calculate that one. In 2000, the same country, the same population, okay, but their earning, out of 100, 90 individuals earning rupees 9 each, and the rest 10 individual earning rupees 20 each. Suppose these had been no changes in the price of goods and services. You have to think like that. There is no changes in the price of goods and services here. Between these two periods, like 2000 and 2001, there is no changes in the price of goods and services. In the year of 2000, an imaginary country had 100 individuals, each earning rupees 10. That's why the GDP of the country was rupees 1000, rupees 1000. Okay, 10 into 100. As like as, even as well as the same country in the year of 2001, out of 100 individuals, 90 individuals earning rupees 9 each, and the rest 10 individuals earning rupees 20 each. Okay, so what is the calculation now? Here you can observe here the GDP of the country in the year 2001 was 90 into 9. Why? Because 90 individuals only earning rupees 9, plus remaining 10 are earning rupees 20 each. So totally, so this is 90 into 9, that is 18, plus 10 into 20, that is 200. Totally 1010. Totally 1010. Then compare to the year of 2000. In the year of 2001, the country is earning more and more GDP. But you have to observe, in the year of 2000, all are earning rupees 10. Okay, that's why the income was rupees 1000, that is GDP. In the 2000 year, in the year of 2001, in the year of 2001, only 10 individuals are earning 20 rupees each. Okay, only 10 individuals are earning rupees 20 each. Remaining 90 individuals are earning rupees 9 each. Okay, so here you have to think like that. But this happened when 90% of people of the country have seen drop in their real income by 10% compared to the previous year. So here, compared to the previous year, the GDP is increasing. How much? Before it was 1000, now it is 1010. But compared to the previous year, again the people income, the real income, it was decreased 10% from 10 to 9. That is, at the time of 2000, they were earning 10 rupees each. At the time of 2001, the 90 individuals are earning rupees 9 each. So whereas only 10% have benefited by a rise in their income by 100%. Okay, then the 90% of the people are worse off, though the GDP of the country has gone up. Are you understanding? So only 10% individuals income only increasing, that's why only GDP increasing, but remaining 90% of people still they're decreasing their income or their welfare, decrease in the welfare of the country, wealth of the country. So GDP is not a perfect barometer to calculate of national income, it is not a perfect index to calculate. So that's why we can say that is GDP is cannot explain welfare of the people, because it may not be true always. Okay, if the national income increase, it will be not increase the welfare of the people. Welfare of the people, welfare is satisfaction, it is a state of well-being. If the income of the country also increase, but it will not increase the welfare of the people, welfare of the people. Okay, this is called as inequality in the distribution of income, inequality in the distribution of income. Otherwise we can say, see, distribution of GDP, how uniform is it? Because it is not distributing equally among the people. Which one? Income is not distributed equally. Okay, so in this situation we can say GDP is not a perfect barometer to calculate the welfare of the people. Okay, so we will discuss next point under the which one? Welfare, GDP and welfare, GDP and welfare. Okay, up to this you have to understand GDP is definitely, if the GDP increase, welfare of the people also increase, but according to few economists, GDP is not a perfect index or barometer to calculate of the welfare of the people, because it always not be true. Okay, it always not be true. Why? Because if the income of people increase, national income also increase, but it may not be true always, because only 10% of individuals income increase, that time GDP will be increased, but 90% of individuals income will be less only. So that's why we can say like that, GDP is not a perfect barometer to calculate of national income, like welfare of the people. GDP is not a perfect barometer to calculate of welfare of the people. Okay, we will discuss remaining points in next class. Thank you.